we're going to look at our hidden commitments and the fears. And again, this is where it is the most interesting. These are the commitments that have me, if you like, the fears that have me. So behaving as per column 2, the things we do and don't do instead, has a payoff. That payoff, if you recall our example, is the management of anxiety. If I act as per column 1, I'm going to feel like I'm an old sick man in decline. Now, avoiding taking the pills has the payoff of, in a short-term way, avoiding that anxiety. So we need to find the anxieties that we are looking to avoid. What's the psychological immune system protecting us from? The way we can do this is to paint a vivid picture of ourselves acting opposite to column 2, or paint a vivid picture of ourselves doing column 1, whichever one works. When we see ourselves doing those things, we then observe. What does it feel like? What's the anxiety that is edging into my personality? And you can use the body for this as well. If we recount our experiences of anxiety, we understand that to be a mental phenomenon, an emotional phenomenon, but the subtle controls the gross. And where there is an internal or a psychological anxiety, it will flow through into the body somewhere. And because a lot of this stuff is murky when it comes to our emotions and our underlying thoughts, often by observing the body we can find the tail end of it and then work our way through. So this, as I say, this is the real meaty introspection part. Write down every fear that comes to mind. Don't worry about how reasonable it seems. Don't worry about if it's true or not. If it comes to your mind, it's worth putting down. You can always go through, review, edit, remove. But as we go through the process, it's bringing forward whatever comes to you. So we're staying with our example of our friend who doesn't speak up in work meetings. Imagine that he does. Imagine he's got something on the page in front of him that he thought, that he wrote down, and he just says it. What's the worst thing that can happen? I'll say something stupid. People will lose respect for me at work. They'll judge me. They won't like me. This is the fear. This is the anxiety. So these fears are what we enter into the top of column 3. Once we've established what these anxieties are, then it becomes trivial. We then basically say, well then, if I'm afraid of being seen as unintelligent or stupid, if I'm afraid of being disliked or not respected, then it means I am committed to being liked. I'm committed to being respected, etc. So we've developed strategies and behaviors to accomplish a protection against anxiety. There's a commitment, and it's a hidden commitment again. We're not necessarily consciously saying, oh, I'm not going to say anything in case they think I'm stupid. It may be conscious to some degree. But what we're trying to convey here is that a lot of this is happening without our conscious awareness. And so the introspection is designed to uncover this. So I may also be committed to being liked by my work colleagues. I may also be committed to being respected for my intelligence. So I better not say anything unintelligent. So we want to be seen to speak up in work meetings, but we also want to keep quiet in work meetings. It's a condition of one foot on the accelerator and one foot on the brake. So what we do for that second half of the column is to restate the fears that we have as commitments. So we just keep the same language. So once we've established the hidden commitments, all of a sudden the column 2 behaviors make perfect sense. Why do you not take your medication? I'm committed to not feeling old, sick, and in decline. It makes perfect sense to not take your medication. I'm committed to being respected for my intelligence. That's why I don't speak up in meetings, in case I say something stupid. The behavior now makes perfect sense, rather than being some irrational, indecipherable action. Once we've established column 3, we start to look at the big assumptions.